Welcome back, friends. I'm glad to see you again. I hope you brought your Panama hat, a bucket, and your best shovel, because today we're talking about one of the best sandbox games. Today we will dive into the world of Terraria and break down what tricks the speedrunner used to break all of the records imaginable. You should know that on average it takes 20 hours to beat this game, but the guy we will talk about today beat it in under 10 hours. We will go into more detail on this later. Sit down, make yourself comfortable, and don't blink. Let's get started. In today's video, we will talk about a player who goes by the name of tjruk, who beat the game in just 7 minutes and 59 seconds. An incredible record in my opinion. I will qualify this by saying that he played a well-known map, and not a randomly created one. The mechanics of the game do not change, but a deep knowledge of the map layout will allow you to complete the game much more quickly. It's also important to select the correct settings before going into the game. You should choose a small map and worldly evil. To clarify, this will be corruption. The key is choosing the difficulty. The game recently added a travel mode called Journey. In this mode, the player can influence the environment and time. They also become immortal and can summon objects. It sounds like the developers wanted to let the players play around with cheats. As a result, speedrunners came up with several rules for completing the game, so as not to make it too easy. For example, players create several parallel worlds and choose one as the main one. The main world is used by all players for general play, and the others can be useful for loot extraction. The record holder only created one additional world to beat the game. From the other world, the player will collect a bomb, sand, and a magic shell, which will be saved for the end of the game. When we go into the main world, we will use the bomb and sand to kill ourselves. Don't worry, this is just what you have to do to beat the game and complete the quests. Our character explodes and destroys the tree, which gives us valuable building materials and a tombstone. You should make a platform out of wood above the tombstone and a block of sand next to it. Then, we dig up some dirt from under the grave. Destroying the grave, the sand falling from above, however, doubles the number of tombstones. There is no magic needed, only sleight of hand. Next, we move on to the dungeon. This is the path to the first boss, which is hidden away. On the way, we have to collect items from chests and get honeycomb blocks. We should use bombs here. Throw them directly into the honeycomb and into the lava to clear our path. Now, we are almost ready for the boss battle. We will start building a small house right above the lava. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. A table and a chair and a high ceiling. And don't forget the lamp, so that we can see. We also need to create a workbench for making bows. We'll save it for the end of the game. Don't worry about making a huge workbench. That's exactly what we need the tombstones for. We can use them to create a biome cemetery. This will allow us to craft unique items. For example, beehives. They will be a main weapon against the boss. We need the honeycomb we collected to create them. One bee alone is useless against the boss, but we can create an entire bee army. We can make a wooden box from the tree and put the hives in there. The trap is ready, so we should move away. A guide will appear in the house. We will drown him in lava. This will lure the boss over. We choose the highest difficulty to increase the loot. Now we wait for the bees to sting the boss to death. Now, teleport to the surface. We get a goat skull from the boss. We can then use to travel. We also get a hammer, which we can use to get to the next stage of the game. The hammer will be used to destroy the demonic altar. We move on to the starting point and hide in a wooden box. Hide in the box. Or, we can change the time of day so that the game generates enemies for us to take on. The enemies appear when we destroy the altar. We can generate more bees to do our dirty work for us. Nothing can stop their stings. This strategy will be used throughout the game. We go back down to the dungeon, where we find the jungle. Bloodthirsty rosebuds await down there. The trick is to lure out our enemies and let the bees deal with them. Keep making hives and you'll be fine. We're nearly at the finish line already, and there are very few enemies left. It's time to use the shell from the beginning of the game and initiate the battle with Skeletron. What differentiates this battle from the others is that Skeletron tries to keep at a distance and does not get too close. The bee strategy won't work here. And now, everything takes place in the dark. We will have to use the minimap to fight him. I recommend using Golem's Fist against him. It is fast and deals a lot of damage. When we beat him, we go over to the spot where he spawned in. We have to wait there for the cultists who are trying to summon their leader. Now, make a new box and fill it with bees. During the fight, it is important to have 200 creatures on the screen at a time, including the cultists. Once you've killed your enemies, it's worth replenishing your supply of bees. They can help kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The first, of course, is defeating the head cultist. The second is much more serious. According to the rules of the game, the cultist will summon 4 towers in the sky before he dies. They must be destroyed and the moon boss must be summoned. But if there are already 200 creatures on the map when the cultist is killed, the towers will not appear. It makes sense within the logic of the game. However, it doesn't work every time. Sometimes only 1 tower will appear. That's not as bad as 4, but for the speedrunners, it's definitely a waste of time. Another speedrunner wasted 30 seconds on this. We have an entire minute to prepare before the main boss appears. Runner made 2 bee cages, although he usually just makes 1. Why? In one of the cages, he will spawn just a few bees, while the other one will be filled to the brim. First, we will deal with 5 bees from the small box. We use the bow against them. 1 shot kills 1 bee. This helps us to skip the 10-second animation after the moon boss is killed. We need exactly 5 bees to do this. The boss has 5 hitboxes that need to be targeted. If the bees take all of the shots, then the boss simply will not spawn in. He knows about the power of bees and will try to avoid them. But if he does spawn in, the bees will only take a few seconds to kill him. This is the end game. We can say that the bees have completed the game for us. In conclusion, to complete the game quickly, you need a good understanding of the game mechanics. You need to be able to switch through different menus efficiently, and you need a lot of free time to study the map. That's all for today, but we will see you back here soon for more incredible speedrun videos on our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. It means a lot. Take care of the bees, take care of their hives, and get better every day. And remember, speedrunning is short life. Bye!